which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
To show unto Israel the things that must surely come to pass. Not the Asian man, not the African man, but to show unto his servant, to show unto the children of Israel the things that must shortly come to pass. Read on.
And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bare record of the word of God, and of the testimony of Jesus Christ, and of all things that he saw. Blessed is he that readeth.
So blessed is he that reads. We must read. We must study these things. Read on.
Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
So in reading, you also have to listen. So you have to also be instructed as well. Read on.
And keep those things which are written therein.
So you have to keep these things. Hold on to them and also keeping them in regards to applying the things that you read within this book or detail. Read on.
For the time is at hand.
For the time is at hand. Let's get more understanding of what time is at hand specifically. Let's go to Amos chapter 3 and let's get verse 7. Still we're all together. Time for cookies. That's the time at hand. Let's read Amos chapter 3 and verse 7.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing.
But what?
But he revealeth his secret unto his servant the prophets.
So whenever it is the Most High looking to do something, he's always going to make sure he reveals his purpose unto his servants. No matter if you're dealing from the time of Adam all the way up until now, he's always going to reveal his actions unto his prophets. Everything he desired to do, he's always going to show it. He did not do that to Abraham. He did not do that to Moses, so on and so forth. With all of our prophets, all of our forefathers, he always showed them the things he was going to bring forth, right? Let's continue. Let's go ahead and go back to the book of Revelation. And let's get chapter 5 and read verse 1. We're going back to the book of Revelation a lot. So you can hold, that's one of the books you want to hold. Read that.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 1. And I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals.
So what John is saying, he's saying, look, I see in the right hand of him that sits on the throne, he has a book. And on the backside, it has 7 seals sealed on. Who's sitting on the throne? Let's get that. Go to the book of Daniel. Let's get Daniel chapter 7. And let's read verse 9, and then we're going to read verse 13.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
That's what we did with. The Ancient of Days did sit. He's the one that's sitting on the throne. The Ancient of Days is the Most High God. That's what we're dealing with. Let's further on and read and establish that. Read on.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
So he has a pure garment white as snow, representing purity and righteousness. And then he said his head like the pure wool. If he was in a form that looked more human, it would be aspect of pure wool, woolly textured hair, just like his people. Continue.
His throne was like the fiery flame.
So when you look at his throne, it had a brightness about it, like fire. Fire's a brightness about it, right? The flame has a fiery flame, a brightness about it. Read on.
And his wheels is burning fire.
And his wheels today we see as transportation. It could be a chariot or a modern day vehicle. So his transportation is the same thing, a burning fire. Read on.
Verse 10.
Skip down and read verse 13.
Verse 13. I saw the night vision.
So once again, David seen the vision. Read on.
And behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds.
Christ came with the cloud. These clouds are also chariots that they drive in, the heavenly host drive and ride in. Go ahead.
Came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him.
So Christ came to the Ancient of Days. Christ came to the Most High, because he's the one that sits upon the throne. So let's go back to Revelation. Let's read verse 1 through 3. Revelation chapter 5, verse 1 through 3.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 1. And I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book.
I saw on the right hand of the Most High, read,
a book written within and on the backside. sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof?"
So who's going to be able to open this book and bring forth these seals? Read on.
And no man in heaven, nor the earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon.
Now we got a problem, right? No one was able to open. Let's get Isaiah chapter 29, verse 10 through 12. And he's looking, he said, no one was able to open the book. Get Isaiah chapter 29, verse 10.
Isaiah 29 and verse 10.
These things were sealed. Read.
Verse 10, "For the Lord hath poured out upon the spirit of deep sleep.
Read it again.
For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered."
Right, because he limited what it is that us as Israelites are able to see and comprehend. Continue.
"And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed."
So, for example, think about how long our people have had this word, had this Bible, a long time, right? Hundreds of years. Yet and still, we still have so many people, even to this day, that when they read it, they still think they're Gentiles. So many of our people. Not knowing who they are within. Not understanding the prophecy contained within this book, right? Because it's a book that's sealed. They don't know. They can't understand. Read on.
"That is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed."
So you try to deliver, hey, what's this talking about? You're talking about this, nothing more. Whatever it is, because we don't have that understanding, you can't bring forth what is truly talking about. See, the one you say you don't know, or you create a lie of fabrication, right? Let's continue.
"And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he said, I'm not learned."
I don't know. So it's sealed. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 5. That's why he was looking between, man, I can't find anyone between heaven and earth that can break down what it is talking about. That can open these seals. Continue back in Revelation chapter 5, read verse 4.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 4. "And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open." Excuse me. "And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon."
So, John started weeping. We're getting more understanding that why is he weeping? Because no one's able to open the book. Why do you think? Here, Joy, why do you think? Why is he weeping? Why is he so sad that no one's able to open the book? Why would that be such a sorrow? Take a guess. Can you pass it to Mike? Maybe.
Because at that point it just felt lost, like there's no hope.
Okay, all right, no hope. Okay, hopelessness. Okay, we'll see why. Let's get Matthew 5 and 17. We'll see why hopelessness. Very good answer.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17.
What does Christ say?
"Think not that I have come to destroy the law,
So when Christ came, Lord, he did not come to destroy or abolish these laws. Read.
or the prophet,
Or the prophets, or the prophecies, or the history, the things that the prophets wrote. Read on.
I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill."
And Luke 24 and 44 shows us he came to fulfill what was written of him. So now, going back to John 14 and 6, let's go back to Revelation 5 and verse 4. He says, "And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open the book, to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon." Because the book that he's dealing with his word. No man was able to read and comprehend these things. No one was able to tell and deliver these things. Because all these prophecies contained in here, all these things must be fulfilled. Because when we read the book of the law, we read the books of the prophets, it deals with what? Our salvation. So guess what? If he's not able to deliver unto us our salvation and all these things, imagine everything that our forefathers and foremothers have done unto this point, imagine that was all worthless. That was all vain. Everything that they lived, fought for, died for, imagine all those things being vain. Now you know why he was crying. Imagine all those things not coming to pass. It's like, man, no one's able to read the book, open the book, everything that's going to happen, and deal with, remember these seals, all the things that are come to pass that need to happen in order for our deliverance. So think about how detrimental that is. Think about how detrimental for those things that happen in order for us to get fully delivered. Because all these seals contain all the things that are supposed to come to pass. If those things don't happen, we don't get our kingdom, which means what? We're stuck in hell. We're stuck in captivity. So now you see why he's crying like, damn, somebody, anybody, I'll take anybody over. Anybody read it. Pretty devastating, right? So let's go ahead and get John 14 and 6. John chapter 14 and verse 6.
John chapter 14 and verse 6. Yahushua said unto him, I am the way.
He's the way. He's the path. He's the direction you have to go in. Read on.
The truth.
The truth. The law. Read on.
The life.
And the life. Because through keeping the law, he's the one that gives you life through righteousness. He's the one that gives you that everlasting life. Read on.
No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
So if you want to get to the Most High, you have to go through Christ. He's the mediator. He's the door. It's like you want to exit this room and go outside. You got to go through that door, right? Well, that door is Christ. All right, that's who you have to go through in order to get to the Most High. From there, let's go ahead and get Revelation chapter 5, verse 4 through 5. Let's go back. Let's go back and read Revelation chapter 5, and let's read verse 4 through 5.
Revelations 5 and 5.
4 through 5.
Excuse me, Revelations 5 and 4. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon.
But we know who is worthy. We know the one who is our mediator. Read on.
And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not.
He said, don't cry, don't even worry about it. Read.
Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof.
Because Christ was able to come through and do it. That's what we're dealing with. Let's get Revelation 22 and 16.
Revelations chapter 22 and verse 16. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches.
So Christ is saying, look, I sent my angel to show you these things, the meaning of these things. Read on.
I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star.
Right, because what Christ is showing is that, look, I'm the one from the beginning. I'm the one that helped form all these things, that helped form the universe, the galaxy, helped create life. That's what we're dealing with. I am the root. I'm the beginning. And it's the offspring because we read in the scripture that he came from the seed of David. That's why he's also the offspring. So he's the beginning and the end. Let's go ahead. Let's get Revelation. Let's go back. Let's read verse 5 through 6 again. Let's go back to chapter 5.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 5. Now one of the elders said unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne, and of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns, 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, sent forth into all the earth.
Okay, so let's hear from one of the brothers. All right, big pastor the mic. All right, you deal with the aspect of when it reads and it deals with the lamb. And it says that they have been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes. So the 7 spirits of God. What do you think that's dealing with? You think it was really literally a lamb and he had 7 eyes all over it?
No.
Okay, what do you think?
May I get that question one more time?
Okay, what do you think it's dealing with? We read Revelation chapter 5 and verse 6. And it says, in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, sent forth into all the earth. What do you think? Okay, well let's see. Let's see what it's dealing with, all right? Not a problem. Good try. Let's get John chapter 1, and let's get verse 36. Let's see what it is it's dealing with that's in the midst of the throne. Let's get John chapter 1, verse 36. yes and no. It is a lamb, but let's see what this lamb is. Read John chapter 1 and verse 36.
John chapter 1, verse 36. And looking upon Yahushua as he walked, and looking upon Yahushua as he walked, he said, Behold, the Lamb of God.
This is John the Baptist. He sees Christ come and says, Behold, the Lamb of God. That's the Lamb that it's talking about when you read it in the book of Revelation. He's dealing with the Lamb of the Most High, the Lamb of God, who is Mashiach Yahushua, so Jesus Christ. That's who it's dealing with. So we're going to get more understanding concerning him. So why is he a lamb? And then we'll get on into what he deal with the 7 horns, the 7 eyes, and things of that nature, the 7 spirits of God. Let's first, why a lamb? So let's get Acts chapter 5, verse 30 and 31. And before we actually read that, let's get why a lamb? Yatab. Why a lamb? Be fast in the Bible. Why that? Because remember, these things are similitudes, right? So why is the lamb being used as a similitude to describe Christ?
Because Christ is pure like the lambs.
Okay. What else? But why does it say the lamb as it had been slain? What significance would that be? Why didn't it just say the lamb as it was in the middle?
For atonement.
Okay. Atonement. Good job. Alright, so let's get that in Acts chapter 5, verse 30 and 31. Let's read that.
Acts chapter 5 and verse 30. The God of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom he slew and hanged on a tree.
Right. So, because Christ came in the flesh through our forefathers, he said, him the Most High raised up, but whom he slew or delivered up to be hanged on a tree, which is the same day as the cross. Read on.
Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
Right, exactly. So Rod, why a prince? Why would he say God has exalted him to be a prince unto Israel? Why do you think? What is a prince?
Someone below the king.
Which would be what?
Someone with power, but not like all the power.
Exactly. So, good answer. So with it, a prince, because a prince is a ruler. A prince is a ruler underneath their king. So Yahushua is a ruler, but who's his head? He has a head, right? Who's Yahushua's head? The Most High. So that's why it says a prince. And then it says, and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel, because a savior has to save you from something, right? And let's read what he came to save us from. It says, for to give repentance to Israel, that they may change and convert themselves from their sins and from their ways, that they may be saved. And not only in that capacity, because it says forgiveness of sins, but also that not only are they saved from their sins, from themselves, but also from their captivity, which they ended up in the hands of their enemies due to their transgressions against the Most High. Alright? So that's why I'm dealing with a lamb. Because Christ came as an atonement. He came as an atonement in order to save his people of Israel from their sins. That's why you see him as a lamb, as a lamb that was slain. Because the same thing, when you read in the Old Testament about the sacrificial laws, what do they have to do? That lamb, that goat, they have to die, so that way you didn't die, right? They died for you to make atonement or to cleanse you from your sin. Christ was that atonement. He was the one that died for our sin. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 5 and read verse 6.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne, and of the midst, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, sent forth into all the earth.
So you have 7 eyes and 7 horns, which represent, these are the 7 spirits of God. Who think they know what those 7 spirits are? Take a guess. clear. Take a guess. What do you think those 7 spirits are? You pass your mind? Just take a guess. You know, like this, in this sense, it's just getting you guys to think. Just take a guess. You can be right or wrong. I mean, that's what we're here for, it's class, but just take a guess. What do you think those 7 spirits are? You just name a couple of them. They represent something. Take a guess. We're all learning. Try not to overthink. Just take a guess. Whatever you think it may be. All it is to get us to provoke us to just think and reason. And if not, hey, we may be right. Or we may be partially right. What do you think one of them? It represents something. It represents more so characteristics that we'll get. Go ahead, meanwhile, get Isaiah chapter 11 and get verse 1 through 5.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
So it's dealing with Christ, because Christ is that true vine. Read on.
And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him.
So let's see what the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of God is. Read on.
The Spirit of wisdom.
So we have wisdom. Okay, that's one of the ones that we're dealing with. Read on.
The Spirit of wisdom and understanding.
We also have understanding. Read on.
The Spirit of counsel.
We also have the Spirit of counsel. Read on.
And might.
The Spirit of might. Read on.
The Spirit of knowledge.
We have the Spirit of knowledge. Read on.
And the fear of the Lord.
We also have the Spirit of fear of the Lord. Read on.
And shall make him quick. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes.
These are all the things that are contained within the Spirit of Christ. And these are the Spirit that went forth in the earth. That's also should be within us. These are what we should also be filled with. That's also what that menorah also represents too. Represents Christ. These spirits that he possesses. These are the ones that you want to have. You want to have knowledge. Because with knowledge, you get knowledge, and all your knowledge, you should get understanding. With all your understanding, you should get wisdom. With having wisdom, that's how it brings forth the counsel, the good counsel. That's what you want. And then with it, you have that fear of the Lord on you, which gives you that might in order to judge righteously. See how that makes us up? Same thing that makes up Christ, the same thing that should be within us. Let's continue reading that.
And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, not reprove after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, the faithfulness the girdle of his reins.
Right, because Christ is coming back to judge righteously. Let's get Revelation chapter 5, let's get verse 7 through 8. Coming back to judge righteously. In Revelation chapter 5, let's read verse 7 through 8.
Revelation 5 and verse 7. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne.
So Christ came and took the book from the Most High. Read on.
And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb.
You had the 4 beasts. These beasts were angels. And he had the 4 and 20 elders, 24 elders that were of our people. Read on.
Having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of saints.
Right, so that's the prayers of the saints. These are the things that they had. Let's see what this golden veils for the odors for the prayers of the saints. Let's get more understanding of that. Go to Psalms chapter 141 and verse 2. So the prayers of our saints, of the saints. Read that in Psalm chapter 141 and verse 2.
Psalms 141 and verse 2. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice.
Right, because when we pray, those prayers go up to them. Those prayers go up to the Most High. So that's also why, we burn this. Also, too, the frankincense and myrrh, too, burn up to the Most High, to send up our prayers to the Heavenly Father. So with those things, those are the veils for the odors, which are the prayers of the saints. That's what they're receiving. They're getting those prayers. They're getting the crying, the sorrowful, the anger. They're getting all those things. They're saying, okay, we got another prayer. Okay, we're going to hold it right here. We're going to keep it. Hold on to it. We got that message. Yep, we're going to hang on to it. Those are the things that they're giving them. Let's read Revelation chapter 5 and verse 9.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood out of every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation.
So they were singing a real good song. They was happy. He said, Thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof. They were singing, having a good old time. Alright? So it says, why? Because it said, man, you were Christ, man, you were slain. You was the one that was slain, and now, due to your sacrifice, you saved us. You've redeemed us. You saved us. And you redeemed us back to the Most High through his blood out of every kindred, every family, and tongue, meaning language, and people and nation. So remember, the key thing is, it says out of every kindred, tongue, people, and nation. So dealing with why? Because our people are scattered across every kindred and nation. Let's get Romans chapter 3, verse 24 to 25. This is why his blood is so important. Romans chapter 3, verse 24 to 25.
Romans 3 and 24. Being justified freely by grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus.
So it was through Christ we're redeemed. Read.
Whom God has set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood.
In his what?
In his blood.
So propitiation being atonement. That atonement comes through his blood that was shed through him being killed. Read on.
To declare this righteousness for the remission of sins that are past through the forbearance of God.
Through the salvation or having us saved or redeemed from our sins. Let's get Revelation chapter 5, verse 9 again.
Verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by the blood, out of every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation.
Right, let's get more of that. Let's go to the book of Tobit, chapter 13, and verse 3. It says, Why out of every kindred, tongue, and people? Let's get that. Get Tobit chapter 13, and let's get verse 3.
Tobit chapter 13 and verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel.
So confess the Most High before the nations, ye children of Israel. Why? Read on.
For he hath scattered us among them.
That's the key thing. That's the key aspect of history that we have to understand. That's what gives you the whole understanding of the New Testament and the mission of the disciples and why they were in all these other places. Why they're teaching all these other places. Why not just at Jerusalem? Why are they going to all these other places, Rome and Greece and all these other places? Because our people are scattered through all these other places. So they were living in all these other places. Just like today, we're scattered amongst the world. Let's go ahead and let's get Revelation chapter 5 and read verse 10.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 10. It has made us unto our God kings and priests.
Right. Made us kings. Made us to be rulers. That's what a king is. And priests, because the priest is the mediator between the people and God. Made us that mediator. Read on.
And we shall reign on the earth.
That's where we're going to rule. On the earth. That's where we're going to rule. From there, in Exodus 19 and 6. But this is nothing new. This was set up already. You can get in the Old Testament. Same thing that was already set up. Exodus chapter 19 and verse 6. Let's read that.
Exodus chapter 19.
19 and 6.
19 and verse 6. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
That's the first thing. The Most High said, look, I'm going to make you a kingdom of priests. A kingdom of leaders. That's what the Most High did. All the nations, he said, you know what? This nation in particular, I'm setting aside to myself to be the leaders of the rest of the people. I want them to be the mediators between me and the rest of the earth. Read on.
And in holy nation.
A holy nation. A nation he set aside because, yeah, just like the Japanese or a nation, North Korean, you know, so on and so forth, the Arabs, East Indian, Caucasian, he said, yeah, they're a nation, but you know what? I chose the children of Israel to be a holy nation unto me. Holy meaning set apart and dedicated to the Most High. Read on.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
To the whole world?
Unto the children of Israel.
Exactly. Go back, let's read Revelation chapter 5 and verse 10.
Verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests. And we shall reign on the earth.
We shall reign on the earth. That means rulership. Get Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1 through 2. Which means that we're going to rule over the other nations. When people hear that, whether it be some of the other nations or our own people, you know, they hate that idea because when they think of it, they think of how we were treated. And because they think of how we were treated, it's like, I don't want to go through that. No, we're ruling in righteousness. Are we treated righteously or wicked? Very wicked. Rape, murder, lynch, oppressed. Laws speak against those things. Laws speak, you know, dealing in righteousness. So when we rule, it's going to be true peace, true righteousness, true happiness. Not according to wickedness, how we've been oppressed by the hand of the so-called white man. So it's not going to be the same type of treatment. It's going to be the true righteousness. Which, when the nations see that, they're going to understand and more so comply with it. And of course, when they see that destruction, they're going to comply either way. But let's get Isaiah chapter 14. Let's read verse 1 through 2.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
But the Most High still stands by what he said. He said, look, he's still going to be merciful to Jacob. Who is Jacob? He's still going to show Israel that mercy that he was dealing with. And then on top of that, he says, yet he still chooses them, regardless of their sin, regardless of the sin. Well, then the Most High done away with them. And he says, look, I'm still choosing them. The ones of them that are going to get right. And he says, I'm going to set them in their own land. But read on.
And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob.
But it says, yet and still, in their own land, the strangers, the other nations, they're the ones that are going to be joined unto them. That are going to cleave unto them. You cleave, you don't want to let go. You're holding on, right? Cleaving unto them. Read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Right. And the people of Israel are going to take those strangers of the nation and bring them back to Israel. Bring them back to that place. Read on.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
We're going to possess them, meaning that there's ownership involved. You now rule over them. You now own them. You now possess them. I possess this is mine. I hold on to this. But now we're going to possess them, have them as our servants and handmaids. Because believe it or not, in this modern day, we are servants and handmaids unto the white man. It may not seem like that because you don't have a physical shackle around, but remember that aspect was chattel slavery. But today we're still in servitude. We're still in bondage. He still rules over us. We go to his businesses and corporations. We go to his grocery store. We go to his job. We have to get supplies from him. So that means, and that's showing you that you're still in captivity under another people if we have to go to them for everything and not to your own. If we weren't in captivity, we go to our own people. We got all the jobs. We got our own houses. We got our own land. We got all that. But instead, yet and still, we have to go to the white man, which means that we're in captivity under him. We're his servant. We're his hand. We're his possession. Got all of that in verse 2? Okay, from there, let's get Isaiah 60 and 12.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to take captives whose captives we were, who had us in their bodies. And then we're going to rule over our oppressors. Because at some point in time, all these nations have had us in captivity. So with it, we're finally going to rule over them, but in righteousness. Not in wickedness, not doing them wrong, but treating them righteously as the law dictates. Read that. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12. What if they don't want to serve? Read on.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
The Most High says, look, you serve or die. Do or die. It's up to you. I'll give you the choice. In Luke 19 and 27. See, the Most High isn't forcing anyone's on, but he said, look, the choice is yours, but there's still a judgment or reward in place, regardless of whatever your decision is. Read Luke chapter 19 and verse 27.
Luke chapter 19 and verse 27.
What does Christ say?
But those, mine enemies.
So does Christ have enemies? Yes, he does. He does have enemies. Read, let's see who his enemies are.
Which would not that I should reign over them.
Those enemies are those that don't want him to reign. And what type of reign is he bringing? The reign of righteousness. But you still have those that are still going to want to rob, steal, kill, molest, rape, deal unrighteously. He said, look, all those that don't want me to rule, that don't want righteousness, what does he say?
Bring hither and slay them before me.
He said, bring them here and kill them. That's what he's going to bring. So when he's ruling, that's it. All right, you got to go. Get Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 3.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
See, the Most High is coming back to give us true rest. How many guys need a break? Need that vacation, right? Finally want that rest. Even nowadays, sometimes it's hard to take a vacation. You're like, damn, you stressing over everything you got to deal with when you come back. Make up work, job, bring extra work. Looking down at you because you missed so many days of work. House out of order. So it's still always an aspect of stress. He said, give you rest from your sorrow. So many things we're sorrowful over. Man, so many things we sad over. Sad I can't make my rent. Sad I can't eat the things I want to eat. Sad that, man, I can eat, but everything's killing me. Even the healthy stuff killing me. Man, so sad to see my people struggling. So sad to see people homeless. So sad to see single family households and things of that nature. Single parent households and things of that nature. Read on.
And from thy fear.
From thy fear. How many guys are fearful? Every day, right? Fearful. Like, damn, can't even walk down the street. Walk down the street, I gotta worry about my own people oppressing me. Your own people get oppressed by your own people all the time. And if it's not your own people, it's like, damn, it's the police harassing you. Like, damn, it's not the police, you escape that. You go into a store, try to buy a t-shirt, it's like, damn, you got the other nations harassing. Hurry up and buy. It's like, damn, what'd I do to you? Oh no, brother, you cannot be here. Hurry up. You got all those things looking down on you. So it's always something. It's always some sort of aspect of something to fear. Read on.
And from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve.
Exactly. How many guys like serving, doing that 9 to 5? And that overtime? You don't like it, right? Did that hard bondage. Working all these hours. Like 9 to 5, you don't even really work a 9 to 5. You work more than that. You don't count the time it takes you to get ready for work, go to work, and then drive back home, and then settle back down from work. That had easily, depending on where you go, shoot, another 2-3 hours on top of that. So you really working 10, 11-hour job, maybe 12 hours, pushing overtime. You working 15 hours a day? Damn. Working a lot. Automatically, half the day is gone. That's hard bondage. Hard bondage. But who was made to serve? Esau put us in that. Of course, due to our transgression, but he's the one that sets the hours. He's the one that makes it, no, this is the standard. This is how much you got to work. And it's constantly making it harder. Because now the price of everything is going up. but the pay is the same. Then they say, all right, we bump up the pay, but still the cost of everything else is going up. It's like, damn, you might as well bring it back down low. It don't matter, just pay us less, bring it back down low. The money and idea of getting paid more just to make you feel better. Just to make you feel better. Because back in the day, everything was cheaper, right? More affordable, easy. Now everything is going up. Everything's going up. So you got to work harder, right? Can't really live off of one income to feed the kids and feed the family. Now it's like, damn, it take two. Getting harder and harder. In a minute, shoot, it's finna take three. So, man. But let's go ahead. Let's go back to Revelation. Let's get chapter 5 and read 11 through 14. Now you see why we got to be saved. Go back, read Revelation chapter 5, verse 11 through 14.
Revelations chapter 5 and verse 11. And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne, and the beast about the throne, and the beast and the elders. And the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, and thousands of thousands.
So a lot of angels. You said 10,000 times 10,000 times thousands of thousands. Just a whole lot of them. Read on.
Saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb.
Worthy is Christ. Read on.
That was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing.
Because think about how much more you love a king who went through the same thing you went through. Christ didn't have to do it, but he chose to be that righteous example. Because we would reverence him so much more for having gone through what we went through, knowing it wasn't easy, knowing he had to suffer, and then be able to pay the way for us to do the same thing. That's a great king. That's a great leader. Read on.
And every creature which is in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, heard I saying, blessing and honor and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb forever and ever. And the four beasts said, Amen. And the 24 elders fell down and worshipped him that liveth forever and ever.
So let's get into the seals. Directly into the seals. So let's continue reading. Let's get Revelation chapter 6, and let's read verse 1 through 2.
Revelations chapter 6 and verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and the crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
So who has an idea of what this first seal is? Who knows? Who can bring forth and show the understanding? What is this first seal? Who can take a guess? Dar, you want to take a guess? All right, go ahead, sis. May you pass her the mic?
I want to say death, but war.
Okay.
War.
Good guess. Well, let's get into it, all right? So when it says, and behold, I saw a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow. Of course, a bow is used for war. And a crown representing rulership, right? So, and he said he went forth conquering and conquer. So who does this sound like, this description? Who will be coming? This sounds like Christ, right? Coming to make war and to conquer. But is it? In Revelation 19. In Revelation chapter 19, verse 11 through 13. See the similitude. You see similitude, but it's not completely the same. Let's get Revelation 19, and let's read 11 through 13.
Revelations chapter 19 and verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse.
Now that white horse, right? Read on.
And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True.
So you're seeing a similar comparison. However, it's not completely the same. Read on.
And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God.
So we're dealing with Christ. But now why, when we read in Revelation chapter 6 and verse 2, is it dealing with a similar figure that is very similar to what we read in Revelation chapter 19, dealing with Christ? Let's get that. Get Matthew 24, and let's get verse 3 through 5. Let's read the prophecies and read what it was that when Christ was alive, he was telling his disciples. Let's get Revelation chapter 24. Let's read verse 3 through 5. Matthew chapter 24, verse 3 through 5.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of thy coming and of the end of the world?
So the disciples want to know the same thing. It's like, man, when will all these things come to pass? When will we get our kingdom? When will this world end? The beginning of the next. Read on.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them,
What's the first thing he said?
Take heed that no man deceive you.
So the first thing he said is, look, you have to take heed. You have to make sure you stay aware. Make sure that no one deceives you. That's what the first seal was about, deception. Read on.
For many shall come in my name,
A few?
saying, For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ,
And shall do what?
and shall deceive many.
So many shall come in his name. His name is his title, what he represents, saying, I am Christ. Because what does Christ represent? What do you read? He's the way, the path, the direction in which you're supposed to go, right? Many others are going to come and saying, look, this is the path you got to walk down. He's the truth. He's the law. Saying, look, these are the laws you have to keep and live by. These are the laws you got to apply in order to live by. You're going to have many coming and saying that. Many religions, many doctrines, many philosophies coming, bringing deceit. So many, think about it. And this is how you know this is one of the seals that's coming. Remember, these seals are coming, they stay open and they get worse. So with the deception, if you notice over history, if you go back and do the research, all these religions, is it decreasing or increasing? Increasing. That's how you know that prophecy is being fulfilled right now. And that's how you know that seal is already open. It's already been fulfilled. It's already something that's being fulfilled at this point in time. Because you've seen over the years, and I'm not just talking over the last couple of years, hundreds of years, religions have been growing tremendously, right? Many different religions. Even within those, you may have many different doctrines and philosophy just within that one religion. Many different sects, right? So much confusion out there. Deceiving many. I don't know which one to go. What religion is real? A lot of people confused, throwing a lot of people off, right? As I said, look, many will be deceived. Many will follow after. Read on. Oh, that was it from that. Go to, give verse 23 and read 23 to 28.
Verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
See, Christ is coming. Christ is coming year 2000. My bad, 2002. Oh, I'm sorry, 2005. Damn, got it wrong again, 2010. Let's try again. Read on.
For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets.
So you're going to have false Christ. Christianity, Catholicism, things stemming from the Bible. And then false prophets. Oh, this is what's going to happen. And I can foretell and foresee all these signs. And, destruction's going to happen. Things are going to happen. What kind of destruction? Oh, what kind of destruction? Wars. And, wars. Oh, wars everywhere. There's all these prophets. People are going to follow them. Seems legit. Read on.
And false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders.
Great signs and wonders. You see all these magicians today? They can show great signs and wonders. Many works. Read on.
Insomuch that if it were possible,
Said if it were possible, read on.
they shall deceive the very elect.
The very elect. That very elect. If they can, they're going to try to deceive Israel and the prophets of Israel and the leaders of Israel, if it were possible, to deceive those leaders. Why? Because the leaders of prophets, the very elect, they're going to be the ones studying, doing their history. They're not going to be as gullible, doing their research, studying, learning their history, finding out that these things true. I see what you're saying, brother, but that can't be true. You know what, brother? I get that part, but you got to clarify this. being prudent, being wise, not being gullible. A lot of people today, gullible, believe this and run off with every wind of doctrine. We must be leopard people. Nah, we lizard people. Nah, we alien people. Whatever it is. Nah, we're not really people at all. We just really walking here. Nah. Everybody got a new, deeper understanding, right? Trying to take you deeper into the rabbit hole. Read on.
Verse 25. Behold, I have told you. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert.
Oh, Christ, well, we found Christ. He's in Arabia.
Go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chamber.
Oh, there's a place in India that he is. They said they found him.
Believe it not. For the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
He's going to come in the east and make his way west. Read on.
For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together.
Exactly. So when you see a carcass, something died, guess what happened? You're going to see the vultures circling, right? So he's saying the same thing. Look out for all the signs. Look out for all the signs of the prophecies being fulfilled. That's how you know when the time is. That's how you know when I'm coming. That's how you know. It's like, yep, all these prophecies been fulfilled. All right, we're waiting on these prophecies now. These are the ones that we're waiting on. Read on. Oh, that was it. Let's go ahead and get Revelation chapter 6, and let's read verse 3 through 4.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 3. When he had opened the second seal,
Now we're on the second seal. Read.
I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon, to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Now, the dog, you got it. What's this beast represent? I mean, this horse. Now, you said it the first time. Yeah, this one represents war. So this red horse, this one is war. First one was deceit, deception. Now this one we got war, chaos, destruction. So now, from there, let's go ahead. Oh, reverse. You read 3 to 4. Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get Matthew 24, 6 through 7. So this one, war is going forth. This is what we're dealing with. Let's deal more with it. Let's get Matthew chapter 24. We're going back to Matthew a lot. Let's get verse 6 through 7.
Matthew 24 and 6.
The same way things are broken down in Matthew, the same way they're broken down in Revelation.
And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars.
So it says you're going to hear of wars and rumors of war. These things are going to be happening. Not just in the aspect of what you see about in Afghanistan, Iraq, but all different type of warfare, all different types of battles on all levels. So, you have many different wars. Right now you have wars raging with the homosexual community, with the transgender community. You have those wars going on. You have different political wars going on. Trump's not my president. You have all those types of wars going on. You have different wars for equality going on. Different wars between, Esau and Israel. So-called white man and so-called black man. So-called Latino man, so-called white man. So-called, Native American man, so-called white man. Shoot, the white man against the white man, Russia and America. You got all those things. Shoot, you got North Korea and America. You got all these aspects of war going on. Police brutality going on. All those things. So this is all these wars and rumors of wars. Read on.
See that ye be not troubled.
But it says, yet and still with all these things, be not troubled. Why? Because more is going to happen. So this is an aspect with this seal that's already open. Because when you look over history, are things getting better or worse? Worse, right? Look within the past, generation. Were things as bad when you were a child? Were things as bad back when you were, in your 20s and 30s? Or has that been getting worse as you get into your 40s and 50s? Getting worse, right? As your grandparents was this bad. This many shootings, this many killings. That's why war is just going to keep growing. Different conflicts, different battles are going to keep coming up. Read on.
See that ye be not troubled.
Why? Read.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So is it necessary? Yeah, it's necessary. He said all these things must come to pass. But that end, that very end, us getting our kingdom, not yet. Not yet. Read on.
For nation shall rise against nation,
Mm-hmm.
and kingdom against kingdom.
So nation against nation, as we're reading. America against Russia, so on and so forth, Over there, battle of Palestine, and over there in Israel, all those different things. And as it deals with kingdom against kingdom, people against people. Read on.
And there
Actually, that's it. We'll come back to it. Get 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 23 through 24. Go to the book of 2 Ezra chapter 6. Let's get 23 through 24. All these things must come to pass. It isn't optional. Read.
2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound,
Mm-hmm.
which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another, like enemies.
So you're going to have that increasing. You're going to have friends fighting each other like enemies, turning their backs on one another, deceiving one another, tricking one another. Read on.
And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein.
Right, because everyone's going to become more fearful because the earth is now becoming more and more filled with violence. You ain't going to want to go anywhere. Read on.
The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run.
Because the springs is how we get water, especially fresh water. So all those things are going to start becoming depleted in a very short time. 3 hours just represents a short time. Then it's going to run still. It ain't going to have nothing there. So it means within a short time you can have it to where you had the fresh water, the springs running. I mean, look at all these lakes and things you're going to. Water's running lower. They're getting lower than what it was before, right? So that's why it says, shoot, in a minute, it's going to stand still, and then guess what? Later on, it's not even going to run. Ain't even nothing there. So that's what's going to happen. Let's continue. Let's get Revelation chapter 6. Let's get verse 5 through 6. Revelation chapter 6, and read verse 5 through 6.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat upon him had a pair of balances in his hand.
Now what does this horse represent? What do you think? Go on, dog. You've been on the street. Come on, try it. You got it? Come on, you got it. You only had 2 tries left. 2 options. Right, you want to help her out? You want to help her out? All right. Anyone want to help her out? Go ahead, Oh, go ahead, Monty. Can you pass her the mic? Or me grab it? Let's see. What do you think this one is?
Famine.
Okay, good. Famine. Pestilence. So let's go ahead and let's get that. From there, let's actually go ahead and actually read verse 6. Let's see how we also know it's famine.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
So it says that you have a measure of wheat for a penny. Keep that in mind. Let's get Matthew 21 through 2. Why is he saying that? What's the significance in that? Remember, Scripture answers Scripture. Let's get Matthew chapter 20 and read verse 1 through 2.
Matthew chapter 20 and verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven
So
is...
what's it talking about? From verse 1, we deal with. What is this dealing with? Irie. Bro, we read in Matthew chapter 20 verse 1. What is this dealing with? We just read. Just read. Take a guess. Yes, we just read it again, all right?
For the kingdom of heaven...
What are we dealing with? All right, exactly. Kingdom of heaven. Right? Read on.
is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard.
So he's giving a similitude describing the kingdom of heaven, describing what's to come. Read on.
And when he had agreed with his laborers for a penny a day...
A penny of what?
A penny a day. He sent them into his vineyard.
So how much were they getting paid for that day? A penny, right? So now, someone put it together. Why? What's the significance between what we read? Put it together. Who can put it together? You look eager. All right, let her go first. Pass it to Mike. What is the significance?
The significance is that you're going to be working like you're working now, but you're not going to be getting paid. And well, you're going to work all day. You're going to get paid that one penny, but it's still not going to do you no good because you're not going to be able to buy with it. It's still going to be a famine.
Okay. So pretty much with that
penny is not worth much. That's what I'm saying.
Right, true. The penny isn't worth much. However, dealing with there's going to be a time to come when whatever it is you're getting paid, because we're getting paid a whole lot. No, we're not getting paid too much, right? So then what we are getting paid, that your day, imagine your day's pay. What you are getting paid, you're going to need that in order to buy food for the day. Imagine that. It's going to take a day's pay to buy your meal. A day's pay. Imagine that? You know how expensive that would be? So what's going to happen? That's going to go a big part into the famine. That's going to go a big part into what it is that, due to the aspect, remember, what is a famine? Lack of food, lack of resources. So guess what? Basic economics, supply and demand, right? What happens? What's going to happen? Lacking resources. So what's going to happen with the lack of resources? Price is going to go up, right? Price is going to keep going up. Guess what? You're like, damn, I can't afford that. Damn, I'm spending half my paycheck now. It's going to keep going up. Damn, I'm spending my whole paycheck. I'm trying to get, damn. So now guess what? You can't afford to eat how you used to eat anymore. You got to start, man, eating. Kids being picky, hey, guess what? Shoot, they eat. Yeah, you ain't going to eat that. Wrap it up. Save it up. Boy, well, look at them videos with our people down in Venezuela, Brazil, and all these places. Down in, struggling. Yeah, you think they got room for, I don't want that. You think they got room to be picky? Because guess what? The same way our kids are, we as adults the same ways. I don't want that. I'm going to buy this. I don't want that again. I don't want leftovers. I'm going to buy something else. Our people the same way. 40, 50, 30 years old, still picky. Hey, guess what? Most High start making that famine more serious. Guess what? Ain't going to be as picky. It's going to be looking good. We got leftovers? Oh, yes. We got something in there. Yes. Yes. Spaghetti again. 3 weeks in a row. I'm loving it. Beans and rice again. Yes. 2 months in a row. I'm loving it. Damn. I'm loving it. Because guess what? When that famine starts to kick, woo, you're going to love whatever you got. Guess what? Eating something better than eating nothing. It's all right. We too spoiled, though. Especially we live in a first world country. You know. Any guys ever been to a third world country? I've been there. It's, man, they struggling. Everything count. You got people living off of radishes and salt. Yeah, you gotta imagine your kids being so deprived of food, they don't even want to play. Because they know it's gonna build up energy, they're gonna be hungry, can't eat nothing. Imagine all you gotta do is do your bare minimum of work. We don't know famine yet, but we're gonna be well acquainted. Because guess what? A lot of our people live like kings and queens and princes and princesses. They're going to be in it for a rude awakening. That's what the Most High has us go through, like the Day of Atonement, things of that nature. Go without. Imagine going without for a long time. Imagine living in a third world country for a year, living in impoverished conditions. Imagine living in that for life, raised up in those conditions. That's why a lot of those people can come here and work so much harder and not have a problem with it because, shoot, we look at it like, damn, how they so happy to come to work? Yes, I am happy to be here. Happy to slave. Yes, happy to be here. Yes, happy to slave. Because they know what hard work truly is. We don't know what hard work is. We don't know. We spoiled. We don't know. This generation don't know. We didn't forgot. We didn't forgot. We forgot what hard work, hard labor is. But guess what? We in for a rude awakening. And with that let's go ahead and let's get Matthew 24, 7 through 8.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
Right. Because guess what? Lack of research. That's why everything becoming more GMO, genetically modified. You're having those things because now the earth isn't bringing forth the nutrients it should. Because Esau has been just raping the earth, destroying the earth. So now it's an aspect that now through him destroying the earth, through many different ways, whether it be through the carbon footprint and greenhouse gases, that directly correlates with Esau coming into power. Before that, the Africans wasn't doing that. It wasn't destroying the earth like that. The East Indians wasn't doing like the Arabs sure as hell wasn't. Esau started, that technology. And then now he's in a situation, he says, oh no, we're doing good because for every bad thing he creates something worse to fix it. It's like he got the car. And he says, all right, we're going to make the electric car. But damn, you spend so much resource, you hurt the earth more making the electric car within itself. He don't tell you that. The resource it takes to make the damn hybrid and electric car, that's still hurting the earth more. Well, but I mean, it's better now, that it's there. So we want more people to do that. It may hurt to make it, but once it's there, it'll do more good once it's there. It pays itself off over time. Like you spend more up front, but it pays for itself over time. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's his mindset, his ideology. Now go ahead, keep reading. 24:7-8. Oh, with the famines. So once again, through the famines, and remember, through lack of resources, that's going to bring forth diseases. That's going to bring forth the pestilence. Because what happens when we don't have clean water? What you going to drink? That's what a lot of people, that toilet bowl going to start looking good. That toilet bowl, I'm telling you. Right now, we too prissy to drink out of it. I'm not drinking, I'm pissing that. Try not being water deprived for a month. Water deprived. Barely rationing, because guess what? When it happens, you're going to try to ration that water you got in your house. A few sips a day. But our people too spoiled. They're going to drink it all, ain't going to have nothing left. Damn. How long you go out? Damn. I tried my hot water heater. Got all the water out of that. Damn. I tried the top bowl where that clean water was. Damn. I ain't got to tell nobody. And guess what? Hey, you're going to be looking for water everywhere. You're going to try to scrape water off the mildew off the cars. I mean, not mildew, off the condensation off the cars in the morning. Damn, I can just get this in the cup. Ration. Let me see. Take that windshield wiper off. Let me get this. I'm going to get me some water. Every morning, be up early. Go through 5 vehicles. Seriously, go through 5 vehicles. Hey, it's a famine. You get desperate. That's why you think breaking into houses. I ain't got no food. Damn. Hey, the Johnsons over there looking pretty good. Hey, I think they stacked up. Yeah, I think they some preppers or something. I think they got like another month's supply. Looking real good. And guess what? That's how more crime starts going up. More death starts going up. Everything is just a cause and effect. One thing leads to the next. Guess what? Lack of food, lack of resources. Guess what? That's how diseases and stuff come. Health issues. More health issues on top of the health issues our people are already facing. All those things. But continue. Read down to verse 8.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
More earthquakes. You guys have been seeing that too, right? Earthquakes all over. It's a lot of events. I used to watch a lot of compilations of all the news and events that happen, even things we don't even pay attention to, stuff in other states. I forgot what it's called, man. It's like, I used to watch this one cat, it's good for making them every month and putting them together. It's like Seventh Veil something, but he changed his screen name to something else, and then but still kept the videos going. I watch it every now and then because it's pretty good compilation he puts together, but all the earthquakes and stuff, things we don't even hear about. Government stuff and all these things, man, it shows you that, damn, this stuff is really happening. All the animals and stuff washing up, all those things. Remember, all these seals are being open and they're staying open and getting worse. All these things. So these family things, why do you think they have to go to GMOs and all these other crops and things of that nature? And the meat, everything is tainted. The meat's tainted. Even if you try to go vegan, vegetarian, that stuff is tainted. You just prolong yourself a little longer. That's why the scripture did with you want cow dung, you want human dung. Choose which one. I don't really, that's it. You're either eating cow dung or human dung. That's it. Ain't nothing, 100% anymore. Ain't nothing 100% anymore. So that's why, you know, all these things, it's like, damn, how long can we survive in these conditions? But yet and still, all these things are just the beginning of sorrow. All these things you've been finding, researching, discovering, he said all these things just the beginning. Just the beginning. We're barely in the situation where, you know, you go in to cook, you turn the oven on and start getting hot in the house. You know, that's where we at right now. It's just getting hot in the house. We still got to go in the oven. It's just hot in the house. And we ain't even open the oven. You know, we first open the oven, you feel the heat coming in. You're like, damn, when I ever put this in there. We ain't even got to that part yet. The oven is just on. On what, that 500 degrees? This is just on in the house right now. We just feeling that heat. But watch, pretty soon it's going to intensify. That oven going to start opening up. Damn, everything going to start getting worse. It's going to be fully open. You're going to feel that heat wave coming in. Moses said, all right, not yet. You still got to get in. I got to get in there. We got to go through that still. Yeah, you still got to get in. You ready? You ready? And it's coming fast. Look at how much has been happening within the past 20 years, the past 10 years, the past 5 years, the past 2 years. You see it, and that's why I said those are the pains. Closer and closer together, closer and closer together, closer and closer together. Whereas every 10 years, every 5 years, every 2 years, every year, every month, every week, then it's just going to be every day. And you'll be like, yep, now you going to know when you're straight in that oven. Like, damn, how much worse can it get? Yeah. But let's get 2 Ezra 6 and 22. It said we must go through these things. Get 2 Ezra chapter 6 and read verse 22.
2 Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly,
Gradually.
and
It
suddenly
says suddenly you go to the grocery store and be like, damn. Read.
shall the sown places appear unsown.
Right, so the sown places. You're going to go and the crop's going to be like that, all dry, withered. Ain't got no harvest. Read on.
The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
So now you're going to have situations, yeah, you know, it's happening gradually right now. Because, hey, you got less to provide. Less you're bringing forth, the less you're reaping, then guess what? The less you can bring forth to the people and live off of. Like, damn, you used to have all this. Damn, we barely got anything on the shelf now. You're going to see that everything's going to start decreasing in size. All your packaging for all your food, slowly going to get smaller and smaller. They're going to try to cabbage it now with 25% more. 25% more what? Oxygen? Hey, that's how they going to do you. Hey, look, that's how they go. Hey, because they have to deceive you, make you think like you think, damn, like look at, I'm serious, look at the potato chips and bags and stuff like that. They're getting smaller and smaller. Y'all notice that? Everything, the size and the meat portion, everything, they're making everything smaller. You know, making everything smaller. It's like, damn, I thought it was supposed to be a pound in here. It's like, damn, they put all this packaging in here now. It's like, damn, they doing all that. Hey, they're happening, deceiving you. Because, why? Because our people go to the store. They don't see the famine now because they say, well, I can still go to the store, buy what I want to buy. I can still turn on the faucet, water still comes out. Look, I'll leave it running for the next hour. See? That's the mindset of our people. You know, simple. So they don't see the gravity of the situation or the magnitude of how serious it is. Because guess what? You're seeing more and more videos making fake cabbage, making out of chemicals, fake rice, you know, fake soy. They're making everything fake. Even with the meat, trying to clone more meat, eating clone meat, using meat glue and other things to try to take together whatever pieces they can, which even the butchers can't even tell the difference. So you definitely ain't gonna be tell the difference. Putting together anything they can to try to give you your prime cuts. Your prime cuts ain't even prime cuts no more. That's just whatever they can glue together, give it to you. You don't know what you eat. More substitutes, more different animals they importing, more rat and stuff they importing. Chopping up, ground it up, and say you don't know the difference of it. They will make it seem the same. Grounding that up. So anything they can to try to put more food on your plate. You know, mixing things with silicone and all these other things. So, man, it's getting bad. Still gonna get worse. With that, all of that, 6 and 22? Mm-hmm. All right. So from there, let's get Revelation chapter 6, verse 7 through 8. Get Revelation chapter 6, and let's read verse 7 through 8.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see.
Dog, you got me this time? Which one is this one? You got me? Huh? Which one is this one? Let's read.
And
Let's
I
read.
looked, and behold, a pale horse.
Now you got a pale horse. Read.
And his name that sat upon him was Death, and hell followed with him.
So now we got death, and we got the grave. That's what he's dealing with. Bringing forth death. Read on.
And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword.
So now, but remember, with all these things, it's coming in, because, yeah, people been dying since the beginning of time, right? Or since, the time of Adam and Eve, people been dying. However, it's coming in great number of deaths. Deaths at all ages. Abnormal deaths. Abnormal situations. Damn, what'd he die of? Had a heart attack. Damn, how old he was? 25? All sorts of death. Well, like it said to kill with sword. So now you're going to have more situations of gun violence. That's gun is the modern day sword. More shootings. Notice all these different terrorist attacks, so-called. Or these others active shooters. You just notice all these situations are growing. Get all these people, all of that. We just had to have that training, right? That active shooter training. Did you have to have that before? Nope, but now it's something new, right? I know other sisters saying the same thing. Having that training. That wasn't before. Why? Because all these things are increasing. These things are going to continue to increase. Most High going to be putting that spirit out there. Going to put it up. All these shootings, Colorado, Oakland, and L.A., and, all these places all around the world, all these places, it's going to continue to happen everywhere. Everywhere you're going to see it. Every state, every city. Another shooter. Someone just shooting up the place, If not that, more gang violence regarding shootings. More police shootings. All types of shootings. Read on.
And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger.
And with hunger. That's another thing. Because guess what? Read on.
And with death and with the beasts of the earth.
Right, because with that famine, guess what? You got hunger. More people are going to be dying. And I'm not just meaning just a couple, but I'm stating it because it's going to be on a large scale. You're going to have more people dying due to hunger. No food to eat. Going hungry. And then you got to remember the mindset that our people are in, like we dealing with before. The other was going over. Think about the mindset people are going to be in. Because all these situations, it's going to create a chaotic mindset. Because how long can you deal with sanely being in those situations? Mm-hmm. Think about it. Think about how all, the military and things of that nature live in all these different conditions. Live in hell, yeah, a lot of poverty. When I was gone, man, it's extreme poverty. You going without showers, for weeks on end. Can't eat every day. Can't eat a cooked meal every day. Dealing with situations, getting shot at, blown up, whatever it is. The civilian, they're not ready for that. They are not ready for that. Over here, oh, hell no, they're not ready for that. They'll go mad. They will go mad. Already got so many situated soldiers, shooting themselves over there, because of stress. The stress alone. So imagine people going to be doing over here. They're not even trained to deal with those situations. At least in the military, trained to be able to deal with it. That's why a lot of jobs like to hire them, because they have a higher standard of resilience. Here everything, people complain, my navel hurts. It's too hot in here. It's too cold in here. We complainers. As a nation, and then the other nations too. Especially Esau. Esau can't survive that stuff. He tried, but long term, damn, Esau is ready to commit suicide to this damn stock exchange crash. Ready to commit suicide. Let alone going through all these situations for long term. That's how you know it's going to be hell on earth. All over. Things are going to get bad and going to get worse. Read on with that. And then also with the beasts of the earth, you're going to have more animals attacking. Animals in places they ain't never really been in. Cougars and coyotes and wolves and bears. Oh my, all these things coming. Yeah, attacking. Haven't you been seeing that? Elephants attacking and lions attacking, and it's going to continue to grow. That's why I said that. And all these fields are already open. These things are already open. They're just growing. And they're going to continue to grow and get worse. Both sides are going to keep sending them. Makes you all of a sudden a big old wasp storm just come out of nowhere. Just wasp nowhere, just stinging everybody. Most High will bring those things. Get Matthew 24:7-8. But so far, does anyone have any questions in regards to what I'm going over so far? Whether in the class, online, do they have any questions regarding what I'm going over? On the conference, any questions in regards to what I'm going over? Everybody's good so far? All right. Okay. You rather me keep going and get it later?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, not a problem. Let's get Matthew chapter 24, verse 7 through 8. Read that.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow.
So even with all these things that we're reading about, all these things are just the beginning. It's just starting to get bad. All these things. But get 2 Ezra 15 and 49. It said all these things are the beginning. The beginning of the end. That's where we're at. We're in the beginning of the end. The very end. The beginning stages of it. The infant stage. Get 2 Ezra 15 and 49.
2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49.
So he was send plagues and pestilence. Let's read more about it. What type?
And I will send plagues upon thee. Widowhood.
Why widowhood? Because the Most High is going to be putting a lot of these men to death. Why more so the men? Because the men are supposed to be the leaders. So, as the leader of the people is, so what? So all they that dwell within, right? So the leaders ain't right, the people ain't going to be right. So the Most High is going to start putting the men to death heavily. So you're going to have more widowhood amongst the women. Read on.
Poverty.
Poverty. He's going to be destroying people. Because guess what? Price and everything goes up, lack of resources, you're going to be poor. Can't afford to get the things that are out there. Can't afford to get what you can afford now. Because guess what? Over time, hasn't it been harder to maintain what you have? Been taking more, right? Becoming more of a struggle as time goes on. Guess what? That's going to continue. So guess what? That's why the Most High puts us through these little tests and things of that nature. People struggle, man, I can't pay my phone bill, and it's like, damn, my rent's due, and all right, get rid of the phone bill. Damn, I need my phone. Well, you got to make a choice. That's it. That's how you learn to adapt to the situation. You have to mature. A lot of our people are immature. We 30, 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old kids. Oh, man, I can't go out to eat like that, or, oh, man, I want to eat this and that. All right, well, cook your meals now. Oh, man, I can't afford the variety I used to have, and I used to be able to, get all this and the steaks and, and all these things, and, now I can't even get that. Well, hey, stick to the rice and beans. Oh, but I got to switch it up. All right, we'll do rice, and then do beans, and do cornbread. Variety, hey, that's the thing. The Most High is going to humble us, humble us. I don't know how some people going to make it, but, hey, they going to learn. Hey, sink or swim, that's your choice. Sink or swim. You got to deal with it. So read on.
Poverty. Famine.
So famine. Read on.
Sword and pestilence. To waste thy house with destruction and death.
So that's it. Wasting houses with destruction. All these things he's bringing to bring forth death. He said, look, you got to look at all these things you got to dodge. He said, look, I'm putting your men to death. And think about the impact that's going to have on the women. Your boyfriend, because, oh yeah, that's the same thing too. A lot of them don't feel they married. Your boyfriend, whatever it is, baby daddy, whatever it is, whatever you want to call a relationship, hey, put them to death. That's going to bring forth sorrow. People losing uncles and, dads and, cousins and things of that nature. You poor. Already you got lack of resources. You got to worry about being killed out there, getting murdered. They ain't got all these diseases coming forth. There's going to be more diseases. You got a situation of uncleanliness. Guess what? No clean water. Guess what? How you really going to take good showers? You got to extend it. May not be able to take that shower, 2 times a day like some of you used to. Or maybe that 1 time a day. You got to make sure 1 every 3 days. Shoot, got to ration it. I mean, what's more important to you, drinking the water or bathing with the water? You got to make a choice and decision. That's it. I tell you one thing, baby wipes, they do wonders. Baby wipes, going weeks without bathing. Hey, if you got to, hey, that's war. That is what we are in war. Many battles, many different types of battles. You got to stay strong. Some people get weak. Hey, got to build them up. Hey, look, this is your alternative. I don't want to do it. All right, well, don't do it then. This is your alternative. So, it's all about how we're going to deal. And that's when, having that body and, dealing with others, being close is going to really come in handy because, people are going to be weak. Not going to know how to deal with it. You can't expect people that have never been in those situations just, to all of a sudden just thrive in them. Our people are strong, though. Our people are strong. We're mentally stronger. We have that mental fortitude. If we choose to enable ourselves to fully tap into it, we have that strong mental fortitude. We have that strong willpower. We can make it through, but we have to encourage ourselves. Yeah, sometimes you might get weak, might get sad, might get tired, like, damn, things are so bad. Like, I'm telling you, we read about it's going to be bad, but like I said, read it and go through it, and it's two different things. Think about the aspect, especially those as parents, you have kids. Think about when your kids are having a hard time. You say, man, what you crying over? What's wrong? Sometimes we be quick to pop them and stuff like that. Man, get over it. But no, you got to admonish them. For them, that's hard. Not having that toy is hard. What are you the Most High saying with us? What you doing crying? You ain't got no food. Fast. You'll be all right. Walk it off. Go read or something. What the Most High doing with us? Oh, ain't no food in the house. We ain't got nothing. That's what the Most High said, man, go over there. Go sit down somewhere. Go here. Go talk to him. Go talk to him. Send a prophet. Go talk to you. Something. That's how our people are. Hey, like I said, why you think we still the children of Israel? We are still children. I don't care. You be 80 years old now. You be 100. Still a child. And the kingdom deals with, we still going to be children until we're 100 years old. You ain't 100, you hitting 105, you just barely coming into your young adulthood. Barely. Brother, we still kids. Still babies. So that's what it is. Mindset mentality, man. We going to need it. But get Revelation 6, 9 through 11. Get Revelation 6, let's read verse 9 through 11.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God, and for the testimony which they held.
So now you have all those under the altar. All the righteous, at least. So all those that were slain for the word of God, all those that died for the word. It don't matter if you're dealing with righteous Abel, all of John the Baptist, whoever you're dealing with. Our forefathers and foremothers. Read on.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying,
Invalid option.
How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Right. Hold that. Get Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. It said, man, how long, God? How long do we have to be in this situation? When are you going to, man, finally judge those that, man, put us to death? They're waiting for that. They're waiting for this. Read Revelation chapter 11, verse 18.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come.
See, the nations, they're going to be angry, highly upset. All this righteousness coming. Read on.
And the time of the dead, that they should be judged.
Oh, snap.
And
Judgment time. Read.
And that thou shouldest give rewards unto the servants and prophets.
See, that's what they're waiting on. That's what they're crying. Man, when we going to finally get the kingdom and rulership, everlasting life, immortality, not having to cry anymore, not being scared anymore. Man, when is that coming? Read on.
And to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
That's what we're waiting on. Waiting on him to destroy them that destroy the earth. Let's go back where we were in Revelation chapter 6 and continue reading. Go ahead and read verse 11.
Verse 11. And white robes were given unto them, unto every one of them.
Right, that's a similitude. Let's get Revelation 19 and 8. It said those white robes were given unto them. Let's get Revelation chapter 19 and verse 8.
Verse 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen.
So fine linen, read.
Clean and white.
Clean and white. Let's see what this linen and this clean and white robe represents.
For the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints.
So that's the righteousness of the saints. So let's go back to where we were. So what he's dealing with is, and we'll go back Revelation and read that, chapter 6, verse 11.
And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them, that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled.
Right, because the Most High was showing them, look, you've already been righteous. You already have the kingdom promised to you. You getting it. Just go ahead, relax. Now, what you got to wait on, you got to wait for those of your brethren. That's why I say your fellow servants, but your brethren, those are the servants that he's dealing with that, look, you got to wait until the ones that have to be killed be fulfilled. Because guess what? There's still many of us that have to be put to death for righteousness. Still many of us that got to die, and be killed street teaching, and spreading the word and spreading the truth, We don't know all who, shoot, that brother might be gone next year, pop, At the most I say that, all right, it's being fulfilled. Guess what? You're going to know when, in mass number, when the Israelites themselves, when the Most High put that spirit out there that the hammer's now finna start coming down on them. They finna really start getting oppressed and really getting killed like that. Now, yeah, we're getting skirmishes, fights, arguments, things of that nature, but that spirit's going to take a shift into that oven, and you're going to start getting killed. You're going to come back. Damn, what's the name got killed today? Yeah, got shot. Dude just came up, just lit him up. Damn, he got shot. Police just came. It was going to, arrest him, and, they going to start doing the Israelites like that, oppressing us, putting us in the back of a police car. Us not complying, put that spirit out there. So, it's going to start happening. That's why I said, man, look, there's a number that has to be fulfilled. We don't know what that number is. Could be 50, could be 100, could be 1,000. We don't know. But he said, look, nonetheless, it's those that, have to suffer. Those that have to go through these things, So need it be, that's how the Most High may say, hey, that's how some have to earn their ticket. Some of us, it's an aspect of he needs it to happen because that's how we need to enter or earn our salvation in the kingdom. Others, he might have to do it as an example. He said, look, in order to strengthen these people, I need this great leader to be taken out. Because that's what's going to get the rest of them to strengthen and come together, build their bond, and make it through what needs to happen. Most High works in his ways. I mean, think about how many righteous brothers and sisters we had that died. So look at, John the Baptist. He was righteous, right? What did he do wrong? Yet and still, what happened to him? He was beheaded, right? Can we say, damn, why was he beheaded? He didn't do nothing wrong. The Most High's judgment. So at the end of the day, Most High has his will. All we are, we're just servants. That's all all our job here to do is to serve. It's like you guys play card games, right? So with the dealer, when the dealer deals, you can't choose what cards you get, right? Or you can't grab, you just grab whatever's on top, right? So whatever it is, hey, the Most High, he's the dealer. He's giving us the cards. All we do is choose how we play them. Damn, I got a crappy hand. Damn, gotta make it work. Woo, good one. All right, man, I can do something with this. Hey, that's it. Why the Most High make some of us poor and some of us rich? It's his choice. So, however, we got to make sure we're doing as much as we can righteously because what we do affects his decision. So that's why you want to find that favor with the Most High. Let's get Matthew 24, 9 through 11.
Matthew 24 and verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
See that affliction? They're going to start delivering you up. Coming to you, oh, them Israelites? Yeah, he the one. Look at his shirt. You see them fringes? Yeah, that's when they always wear them fringes. Uh-huh. Oh, for real? Hey, excuse me, sir, come with me. Police gonna knock on your door. Excuse me, looking for a Miss Nadalia. Is she there? Also goes by the name of Doris. Yeah, is she? Hello? All right, we're coming in. All right, yeah, we're taking you. Uh-huh. We see you see the material there. She has a menorah in the back. Yep, definitely one of them, man. We're taking you in. All right, for questioning. All right, just don't worry, ma'am. Just come with us. You'll be okay. Yeah, right. So they should deliver you up to be afflicted. Read on.
And shall kill you.
Yeah, they're going to kill you. A lot of you put to death. Read on.
And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right, because they don't want that righteous message. They don't want that true peace. Read on.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
Because you're going to have that too. People in the world offended at one another. That spirit, that agitating spirit, that emotional spirit. Everything working them up. Get mad on everything. Not able to settle their disputes. Say something about my mama. All those things. Read on.
And many false prophets shall rise.
You got many false prophets, many false teachers.
And shall deceive many.
And deceive many. Many are going to be tricked. Many are going to be beguiled. Many are going to say, damn, I thought I was going the right way. That ain't it. You're going to have many of that going on. Get Revelation chapter 6, and let's read verse 12 through 17. We're going to finish the rest of Revelation chapter 6.
Revelation 6, verse 12. And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake.
So that's what we're waiting for right now. We're waiting for that great earthquake. That great one. The one that's way off the charts. Everyone felt it. Mass destruction. Read on.
And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood.
Right. So all these events are going to happen around the same time as that great earthquake. These are all the things that we're waiting on now. Read on.
And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth.
So that's dealing with those meteor showers. You know, all those things, those comets and things coming down to the earth. Read on.
Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, when it is rolled together. And every mountain and island were moved out of their place.
Describing all these events happening. You know, sky gonna look different, whole color gonna be different. Aspect, you know, the island stuff gonna move. We're gonna have the reports. And this just in, you know, Hawaii has moved over five miles. We don't know what caused this occurrence. Most likely due to the earthquake that happened earlier this year. And just back in with Dave says, yes, definitely is due to recent events that have happened. You know, all these islands, the islands of Hispaniola, the islands of Jamaica and Cuba, all these things have moved now and have now shifted their positions. Back to you, Jan, in the studios. All those things coming up. Read on.
And the kings of the earth, and great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
They're going to be running. They're going to be trying to hide, you know.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come. Who shall be able to stand?
And of course, they're not going to use that exact wording and terminology. Like that, the man upstairs, he's calling us home. Oh, Jesus, if these rocks would fall, rather be crushed than to go do this. Because think about all the destruction that's going to be happening. All these natural events. All these things happening. You know, you rather, you know, especially Esau, you want that quick and painless. I don't want to suffer. It seems so bad. Kill me, please, take me. You're going to have a lot of those situations. Then let's get Daniel 12, 1 through 4. Just who wants to suffer? Nobody, right? Daniel 12, verse 1 through 4.
Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble.
Michael, the chief angel that stands up for us. So in that there shall be a great time of trouble. This is what people know also as Jacob's trouble. Read on.
Such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time.
So grab or pull any aspect of history, any aspect of famine, pestilence, disease, war. Any time throughout history, what's going to come upon the earth is going to be worse than all those combined. Think about that. Think about any aspect, any war, siege. Most I said, look, the time that's coming is going to be worse than any of that. And it's going to happen soon, than like the next generation or two. Imagine that. Maybe your lifetime, maybe your kid's lifetime. But look at the pattern of how fast things are happening. That it is. When they say it ain't long yet, it ain't long. Because look at the seals. Look at everything that's happening. You know, damn near all the seals is open. You know, and out there and just getting worse. So you ain't too far. It ain't like it was, you know, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, something like that. You know, it is there. It is there at that time. And look at how fast everything just continues to happen. Look at the buildup, and you'll know that, damn, it's only like our generation or the next. Damn. Bad. Read on.
And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
So those that will be delivered are those written in the book. Read on.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
Those that sleep in the earth, those that have died. Read on.
Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Because some are going to receive the kingdom and some are going to receive eternal damnation. Read on.
And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
Because those that are wise are those that keep the laws and commandments. Those are the wise ones. Those are the ones that are going to make it. Continue.
But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
So the book was sealed until recently. The book is being now opened up. We're re-getting this understanding, this knowledge back to be able to understand all these things that are coming back. And that's how you have knowledge being increased, because what's all the big doctrines going on? Everyone's trying to become more conscious, right? Everyone's trying to become more aware and trying to, everyone's trying to profess how much knowledge they have. That's what we're doing. Knowledge is being increased again. Let's go ahead and get Matthew 24. Let's get 12 through 14.
Matthew 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound,
Because sin shall abound, what will happen?
the love of many shall wax cold.
Love is going to be waxing cold. People's care and concern is going to be waxing cold. People not going to care anymore. Because think about the generation going on, people become more disobedient, more rebellious, more ungrateful. You're going to have more of that. You try to do something nice for somebody, they don't care. Spit in your face, throw it in your face. Don't matter. Say whatever. Read on.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So we have to endure no matter what comes our way. Poverty, affliction, pestilence, famine. Hey, we got to continue in righteousness. Because some are going to be like, man, they're going to blaspheme the Most High. Damn, I got to serve a God doing all this. Putting us through all this. I've been righteous. Well, I deserve to go through all this. Continue.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
All over the world, the whole globe has to hear this word. Read on.
For a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
Right, because once everyone gets this word, that's when it's done. Everyone has to get this word. Everyone has to have known. It don't matter if they passing by on the bus, all of a sudden you hear, and God said repent. That's all they heard. That's it. Everyone has to hear this word. That's how the Most High says. So from there, let's go ahead and skip down, read verse 21 through 22.
21. For then shall be great tribulation.
Just like we read in Daniel. Read.
Such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be.
So nothing that we've ever experienced on earth up until this time. Nothing will compare to being as bad. You got to combine anything that may have been in Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, whatever, in Greece and Rome. Combine all those things. World War I, II. Combine all those things. That's how it's going to be. And even worse. Because you have everything is going to just compound off of one on top of the other. So, read on.
And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days have been shortened.
Both in two aspects. One, as far as in how days have been passing. As you get older, it's like the day itself, even though it's not long, it's still 24 hours, but it's like just passing so much faster. At most times today, I got to shorten the days. So yeah, time's still going to be there, but, it's still going to be that within that time frame, but yet and still, I'm going to make it smaller. It's going to go by faster. He said, look, I got to shorten it. And then as far as with the length of time of man, he says, look, I got to cut off this kingdom from ruling. Otherwise, if Esau had more time, we'd all be dead. He said, look, I got to shorten those days too. I got to shorten the time, not only within the days of itself, but also within the overall time itself. It has to be shortened in order to save humanity and save my people. From there, let's get 29 through 51. 29, we're going to read all the way down.
Verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
So with all these things, we gotta go through all this tribulation first. Christ didn't just come on the scene as soon as it happened. All right, it started. All right, I'm here. Now you got to go through something. He said, all right, I see you've been suffering a while. Okay, all right, that's it. I'm hitting the buzzer. All right. But the Most High is gonna send Christ. When it's time. The Most High said, I got to prove him. They got to be proven a little longer. Give them another 3 years in this situation. We don't know how long we got to go through it. You know, things are gonna be hell on earth, horrible. Think about how many years you got to go through that. Things just bad. Think about any movie that you've seen in apocalyptic times, or the living situation, just how bad things get. We got to live through that for a long time. You know, so we got to live through that, and then He'll come and save us and redeem us. It ain't gonna be just as soon as it starts. We good. Nah, we got to go through it. Read on.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven.
Yeah,
with
he's
power,
coming, and he's coming with backup.
with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, he putteth forth leaves. Ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door.
Exactly. So when you start seeing all these things being fulfilled, you know how close it is. Ain't nobody got to tell you, man, how close or how far we are. You just got to read. Read and apply. Read and pay attention. Watch the news. Watch the events. You'll see, all right, I see where we at in the prophecies. All right, I see this being fulfilled. Oh, but this still has to happen. You know, still look like, we're going to grocery stores. Oh, we still got food. All right, it ain't got that bad yet. You know, we still good. Still got a little bit of time. You know. So with all these things, like you said, man, just pay attention. Read on.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled.
Right. Everything you read here, you got to make a little check mark. Has this been fulfilled? Has this been fulfilled? Read on.
Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. No, not the angels of heaven. No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
So no one knows that exact time that Christ is coming. However, we can read and know the time frame or the approximate time in which he's coming.
But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So that's when you go back and you read, well, what was going on in the days of Noah? You go back and read that. He said, look, in this generation, the same thing is going to be happening. Read on.
For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying.
You say, just like that time, you know, they were marrying, having sex, partying, you know, it says all those things, the same thing. Just so you see YOLO, that same thing, it's going to be the same mentality. They still going to try to continue, maintain a regular day-to-day life and carry on as normal. Oh, it's nothing. That's why you read so much destruction has to continue to happen, because they have to finally see that, damn, it must be the end days. Damn, it must be the Most High doing this. It ain't just a coincidence. Read on.
And giving in marriage until the day of Noah, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came.
They knew what?
And knew not until the flood came.
Right, because they weren't looking at the signs. It's like people today, not reading the signs, not looking at, oh, danger ahead, oh, turn back, oh, turn away, oh, you should repent. Oh, they ignoring all of them. So guess what? It's going to catch them like a thief in the night. Read on.
And knew not until the flood came, and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall two be in the field, and one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding in the mill, and one shall be taken, and the other left.
Mm-hmm.
Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come.
Right. So you don't know that exact hour, but, you know, and of course, it's making a reference because many hours in a day, right? So, you know, hey, he's coming this day, but I don't know exactly what time. You ever had that with people, someone coming over? Man, they coming today, I don't know what time. Man, they might be here sometime between 2 and 4, but I don't know for sure. So the same thing with Christ. We don't know the exact time he's coming, but hey, guess what? He's coming soon. We know it's sooner than what it was before because we look at the prophecies. But read on.
Verse 43, but know this.
He said, but know this.
That if the good man of the house had known and what watch the thief would come, he would have
what
watched.
watch? Because at night, a watch is a time frame. That's how they kept time at night. They used hourglass and they had watches. And watches were divided within the night within a certain sect of hours. So they had all those watches. They had 3 or 4 watches. You know, they would have it to where, because you have those 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night. So at night, they had watches that they divided time into. So it said, look, you would have watched. When we would have known that, hey, what time is he coming? But read on.
He would have watched and would have, and
Read verse
would,
43 from the top.
But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come,
Had known at what time the thief would come, what would he have done?
he would have watched.
He would have watched. So likewise, we know in what watch he's coming. However, we have to keep watch. Because out in the world, they don't know. Because they don't know the signs. So guess what's going to happen? It's going to catch them like a thief in the night. We're supposed to be that good man of the house, making sure, look, we taking care of what we're supposed to be doing. Read on.
And would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore be ye also ready.
So also likewise, us as the good man of the house, we have to be ready. We have to watch and be watchful. Make sure we're keeping ourselves, keeping the laws. Because guess what? We don't know the exact time, but guess what? We know the time frame. He's coming sometime at this time. Sometime around this hour. Read on.
For in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, blessed is the servant
To give meat. You skipped over.
Verse 44. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh.
You're going to come at a time you don't even expect. Read on.
Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season.
Right, because the Most High has us a blessing saved up in due season. So this is likewise with a servant, when a master leaves, he tells the servant, hey, look, make sure you do these things and this. I'll be back, Oh, when exactly? I'll be back, in a few weeks. Oh, but, what time? I'll be back. Just make sure you take care of these things. Read on.
Blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming.
He should have been here by now. That's whatever. He ain't coming back. A lot of people lose faith. Rice ain't coming back. Read on.
And shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. The
Now
Lord
he just turns from righteousness and just becomes wicked. Read on. Loses the faith.
The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
And that's that lake of fire. Because he told them that, look, hey, make sure you watch yourself. Be righteous. Don't worry about it. Because our people, we were given a time of, Christ is coming for sure, 2022, and, 3 o'clock a.m. What would we do? We wait until that time to get righteous. Damn, I still got time. Yeah, we still got like 3 years. Yeah, we straight. 4 years. Yeah, we straight. Yeah, we'll wait. We said, nah, I'm going to catch him as a thief in the night. I want to see who's going to do right regardless. Because guess what? The Most High is all about integrity. We want the same thing, right? We don't want someone doing right just because I'm right there. But nah, I want you to do right the whole time. We don't like people being fake, right? I want you to be right for me. Now you're supposed to be right all the time. Most High the same way. So from there, the only ones you want to write down, I didn't go over, is Ezekiel chapter 9, and then Revelation chapter 7, verse 2 through 4, 9 through 11, and 17. All right? And that's the seventh seal. Let me just get that one real quick. Revelation chapter 7. Let's get verse 2 through 4. Revelation chapter 7. Let's read verse 2 through 4. We're going over a little bit, but this is us finally coming into our kingdom. All right? And coming into our power and receiving our kingdom. Make sense? Read that. Revelation chapter 7. Just read 1 through 4.
Verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God.
That's righteousness. That's what we're being sealed with. The moment we come into the truth, we're being sealed with righteousness. That's the seal of the Most High. Read on.
And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Right, because all the destruction coming, we need protection. That protection is the righteousness of the scriptures. It's not going to be a chip. It's not going to be whatever it is you got. Briefcase, sword, machete, super submachine gun, whatever it is, bunker. That ain't going to protect you. What's going to protect you? The righteousness of these scriptures. Doing the right thing. That's your protection. That's where you don't have to worry about all that destruction happening. Watch like the book of Eli. That movie and stuff like that. You notice all that stuff and everything, bullets flying, he unscathed. You know, it was because why? Because he was righteous, and when Most High was dealing with him. So the same thing. That's how the Most High is going to deal with us. Finish that.
Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
So seal them with the knowledge and understanding of these scriptures in their foreheads. With that, you can get write down these precepts, more of that with that sealing. Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 18. You know, I did with, you know, the law. You also want to get 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 22, dealing with, you know, him sealing us. And then Ephesians chapter 1 verse 13 is that, you know, you were sealed when you believe. You know, when you believe this word and everything, that's when you were sealed. So, you know, anything later, you guys can ask me questions. But for right now, at the end class. The other one, get 2 Corinthians 1 and 22. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 1 and 22, Deuteronomy 11 and 18, Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 13. All right. I read those. I'll leave it there, and pretty much it goes into the 144,000, and then which is, you know, of course, the elect of Israel, that chosen, that leadership, and then verse 9, that great multitude is the rest of our people. That no man can number. You know, that was the rest of our people. But it was of all nations and kindreds and things of that nature. But because our people once again scattered amongst all nations and kindreds and tongues of people, like we covered in Tobit chapter 13 and verse 3. All right. So with it, you know, I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, any questions or anything that you guys have, you know, just talk to me afterwards, all right? So with that, I'll end.